Hi, I'm Dempsey Palat, and this week I'm reviewing Joker was directed by Todd Phillips and stars Joaquin Phoenix as a man named Arthur Fleck, who experiences a series of unfortunate events, no, not those, that eventually shape him into the infamous and villainous titular Crown Prince of Crime. And this movie blew me away. When I first found out that we were going to get a Joker origin movie from the director of The Hangover, my initial reaction was, no thank you. But then, it really kind of piqued my interest, just a little, right, at first anyway. Joaquin Phoenix was cast. We found out that this was going to be a standalone movie entirely separate from the DCEU that was already established, which meant no more of, the other Joker. Martin Scorsese was attached to produce this film at one point, which he ultimately didn't. However, we do get Robert De Niro in the film, which to me is a more than even trade. And you would think that with all this buzz building up around the film that I would eventually get excited. But no. In fact, even when the trailer was released, the first trailer, I still found it to be very underwhelming. There was nothing about it that really grabbed me. In fact, I wasn't really excited until the film premiered in Venice. And no, it wasn't because of all the rave reviews or, the standing ovation that it received. It was more because of the negative media coverage. I mean, you had outlets saying that the incels are going to rise above and, there was going to be civil unrest and chaos in the streets, which honestly on paper sounds utterly ridiculous. So I needed to watch this film just to see what was getting everybody so worked up. And let me tell you, first and foremost, I just want to say that in my opinion, all of the negative attention that Joker has received from the media is totally irrelevant to the film. Yes, this film is controversial, but can't any film really be controversial? You see, what I think that some people weren't too receptive of in this film was the way in which it depicts mental illness. It shows just how easy it is for somebody with an underlying condition to be pushed over the edge. And it also shows just how extreme the result can be in some cases. But, most importantly, it puts the blame on society. And with all the noise regarding this film's release, as well as just how far the media spun it out of proportion, is it that far off from the truth? And speaking of the truth, Joaquin Phoenix is the truth in this movie. He is just absolutely brilliant. And us film buffs have known that he's a national treasure for decades. So, for those of you guys who didn't know, this film sets it in stone. But in all seriousness, though, he really reminded me of a modern-day Marlon Brando with the way that he loses himself here. And it's not just his delivery of his lines or that maniacal laugh that will honestly stay with me for a very long time. It's his physicality. His physicality really defines his portrayal. His dancing is everything, by the way. Never did I think that Joaquin Phoenix dancing in a movie would almost make the movie, but here we are, okay? And while I'm saying outrageous things, dare I say that I think he does a better job at the Joker than Heath Ledger. Not to say that there's anything wrong with Heath Ledger's performance, but he just really takes it to the next level. And if you didn't think that was possible, watch this movie, please, okay? And while I'm also saying things, I'll also say this. I think that he has a really good shot at winning the Oscar for this role. Yeah, for winning an Oscar for the same role that Heath Ledger won an Oscar for. What a time to be alive. The direction is also incredible. Who knew that the guy that directed The Hangover 10 years ago could go on and make this? But then again, who knew that the guy that wrote The Hangover 10 years ago could go on and make Chernobyl and also win an Emmy? Look, all I'm saying is that everybody involved in The Hangover is suspiciously successful now, and it should probably be investigated. In all seriousness, though, this film comes together beautifully under Todd Phillips' direction. The cinematography, the lighting. There's this one scene early on, right as Arthur begins his descent. He's just done his first deed, or one of his first deeds anyway, and he starts to run down this long, dark tunnel. And the way the light hits him, his shadow seems so far ahead of him, and it's almost like he's running towards it, and he's running towards the darkness, and it obviously is foreshadowing his plunge into the darkness, and it is just so well done. Oh, it's so good. The sound, the music plays an especially large role in this film. It is just all so darn incredible, and it all comes together so chaotically, yet so beautifully, as I said. And not only is this film entertaining, it's challenging too. You see, there are several scenes in the movie that may or may not be real, but that's up to the audience to determine. I was up to the challenge, and I know there were a bunch of other people that were up to the challenge too. However, this is a film that requires multiple viewings, not only to unravel the film's deeper mysteries, but to understand its underlying message. Honestly, Joker is a great movie as is. However, I think that all the negative attention it got somehow made it better. You see, in the process of everyone trying to tear this film down, they actually kind of helped to prove its point, that society really can make or break something. And in the process, they made this particular something perfect. And for that, I'm going to give it 5 stars.
All right.
We did it! We did it!
Guys, thanks so much for watching. As always, if you like this video, hit that like button, and if you're not subscribed, I would ask that you please subscribe. I post new videos weekly, and I'm always working on new stuff. You know this. Now, if you happen to see the movie, and from what I've seen so far, there's really only 2 opinions on it. You either really love it, or you really hate it. I haven't seen anybody straight down the middle, so let me know what you thought, okay? And if you happen to see the movie, let me know if you think there's going to be a sequel. I don't know how I feel about a sequel yet. You know, I kind of want to leave it perfect, right? The way it is right now. But also, I'm interested to see what would happen next for this version of the Joker, right? Especially the way things were left off anyway. But I don't know. Let's talk about it in the comments section. But yeah, once again, thanks so much for taking the time out of your day to view this video. It really does mean the world to me. And I love making these videos for you. So I should probably get back to work. Until next time, I'm Dempsey Palad. Take care.